Go ahead, Hunt. I would say it's one of the top 5 things I've ever done in my life. I came over this morning with Broker and Naz, brought my sons over, took a tour of Yorktown. We were probably here an hour and a half. And then I went back and I had our GA last night print out a map of South Carolina and explain the history of Charleston, the history of this ship, explained all of it to them so that as we headed over for practice, they'd have a better understanding of it. And we're leaving from here to go do a clinic at the base for children of armed service members, and I think they'll have even more of a understanding of what all this is about.
Buzz, you sound pretty excited and stoked about this event. How do you balance that against the fact you got to play, a top 5 team to start your season?
I would say it's immature. I would say I've done a really poor job of trying to balance it. Hunt will be the first guy that asks a question tomorrow night if we lose. I just don't know professionally. This is my 19th year in Division I. I don't to have an opportunity to play on this stage for what it represents and the pride that swells up in you for our veterans and for the people that are currently fighting so that we can play ball. I mean, it just seems so minuscule, like we're not deserving of something like this. And that's what I was trying to express to our kids. Like, so we're eating breakfast for free, and there's a guy cooking omelets and pancakes, and we're having study hall, and they get to go to school for free, and then this is their first game. Like that's an unbelievable blessing. And so I would say my response has been very immature. Not that we haven't prepared, not that we're not excited to finally be able to play a game, but it kind of pales in comparison to what this is really about. And I feel very fortunate that our institution is able to be a part of it. Yeah, well, I think every team, to an extent, this time of the year, it's hard to prepare because you do have to base a lot of what you know on last season's team. And I said this yesterday before we left to our local media. I think if Thad talked about himself the way a lot of guys in our industry does, he would be looked at in a different light. But if you really look at what he's done in his career as a head coach, he will be in the Hall of Fame while he's still employed as a coach. It's remarkable the success that he's had. And he's always done it with really good players like Jared Sullinger and Buford. But so Aaron Kraft's an All-American, Deshaun Thomas is an All-American. And so they lose, I think it was 37 points and 15 rebounds in 68 minutes. That is a big gap to replace. But when you know that you can replace it with guys that have already played at this level, I think that they're worthy of being the 4th-ranked team in the country. I think they're a potential Final Four team again this year.
How much does it alter your game plan as a team, being on a ship, being outdoors, being in wind? Does it alter what you have to do and what you normally do inside a gym?
Well, I told Dad I think it'll alter what they do because they have guys that can shoot. We don't have anybody that can shoot, so I hope that the wind helps us. Maybe it'll straighten out some of the curve balls that we typically fire up there. We were going to do something outside in September and October. We could never find anything that was any other surface other than concrete, and I got really scared about some of the luck we've had with knees and feet since I've been at Marquette, so I shied away from it. But whatever condition we have to play in tomorrow night, the Buckeyes have to play in it too. So there's no justification. We'll probably shoot 32% from the field like we did against Florida in our last game, and that was inside. So I don't think it'll matter. And we had guys on the team last year that could shoot. No, I think I came over here this morning and they were getting the floor dry. I think I don't have any concerns about the safety. I think the one thing that will be different though, Michael, is we practiced when it's light outside today, and we'll have shoot around here in the morning when it's light outside. But when we play tomorrow night, it's going to be those pop-up lights, and so I think that there will be an adjustment for us and for them, because they have the same times that we have relative to when they shoot and when they practice. So I think that there will probably be an adjustment relative to those lights, but no concern whatsoever about their safety.
Buzz, do you think your guys will have any problem adjusting to the atmosphere? Do you think when the ball goes up, it's just...
I think they'll be hyped up. I think all those games of magnitude tomorrow night, of the teams that play, regardless of whether it's on TV or not, every kid in the country and every coach in the country is excited that a new year has started. So I think there will be some jitters, maybe because it's outside, maybe because it's on national TV. There's maybe a little bit more added to that. But I do think that once the ball goes up, maybe it'll calm down by the second media timeout.
Did you go looking for one of these games after last year's event? Is this something you want, or did you have to kind of wrap your mind around the idea of playing?
I would play in anything like this, anywhere, anytime. Mike Broker, Larry Williams have done an unbelievable job of building relationships throughout their career, and that's why we were able to participate in something like this. But if you know anybody that has something like this, or any type of an event like this, just tell them we'll play.
Coach, we were outside and just seeing the spectacle of it all in practice. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, it is.
What does it mean, I guess, for the community back home in Milwaukee that your team is kind of a part of this huge, unprecedented event?
It's funny, you're the youngest guy here and you asked the best question. You don't have any hair on your back yet because you're young, but it makes the hair on your back stand up if you're old. Honestly, regardless of where you're from, regardless of the institution that you're employed at, to have an opportunity to be a part of something like this, I've said it a couple of times before I arrived here, I think it's something that our guys will always cherish. And it's much bigger than the winning or the losing. Obviously we want to win, and I'm not trying to justify that, but to be able to represent our country in a small way for what our country and the men and women of our country have done to be able to provide us this chance to do it. And I'm telling you, I was so fired up this morning when I came over. I don't sleep a lot, but I'm up early this morning in the lobby. I like to talk to the janitors, and so I'm running around. It's, I don't know, 5:30 this morning in the hotel lobby, and by about 8:30, people are moving around, and Naz came through and he said, hey, I'm going to go over to the boat, and Broke was with him, and I go, hold on just a second, I'm going to go wake up my boys, and we're going to go. And just immense pride, and I think for people in Milwaukee, for people in Columbus, for the people that are going to watch it, it just makes you stand at attention. Just like he said earlier, like, we're still at war. And you're with a camera, and these guys are writing, and man, that's humbled and grateful. Thanks.